Hello, dear friends. Welcome to my studio and to our Monday live streaming. I really appreciate what you found the time to join me. That's just amazing. For me, it's a huge pleasure to be in my own studio and start my week with our conversation. It's always great energy, to start the the process. And as usual, I have a technical support. You can see that. That means everything what you type in the chat, I can hear that and I can answer. And that's the way how we can talk, which is very important for me. So in all the process, feel free. Any questions, wherever you want, just type it and I will find a time to answer. So today we're going to French Alps. I just back from my trip. It was like 3 weeks ago. It's still fresh in my memory, and we have a very nice, stormy, emotional picture. And we will talk how to do that, how to apply it in the watercolor language in our paper. And today I want to introduce you two big news. It's a huge news for me. The first one. We run this special website in Europe. It's called europewatercoloronline.com, and there we have a not full range of the materials what we have on the normal website, but a lot of them, and it's available in Europe. No taxes, very cheap delivery, so you can order the same materials what I'm using all the time. And we're working on that project last 3 months, so it takes the time, and it was a very complicated, but finally we did it. And you can go to the website to check what we have now there. And one of the most important thing, the paper. We have a Baohong paper on the website, 3 different sizes in blocks, and paper, cold press and rough paper, what I'm using here. Don't be wrong, it's exactly master choice paper. The Baohong, like other companies, make a lot of different kind of papers. So what I'm using here and in my paintings all the time, this is the Baohong Master Choice, and that paper available on our website around the Europe. And this time we have a discount 20%. You can use the special coupon on checkout. So I did my best, and by the way, it's a very good price for the paper because we're working with a factory. So I did my best to make this paper available for all my friends, my students, the artists around the Europe. So you can go to the website, check it, use the coupon, and it's fast delivery, about the 5 days, 6 days, something like that. And that's exactly the paper what I'm gonna use today, right? And I will show the picture, and just a second. Yeah, here is it. That's the picture what we use like a reference, French Alps. You see, it's a very dramatic and stormy. And by the way, it's very interesting. If you type in the Google atmospheric landscape or emotional landscape, I can say 80% you will see the pictures with the sky and about the sky. And it's very interesting because exactly the sky make emotional feeling in our paintings. If we're talking about the landscape, if we make the cityscape, normally we not pay attention for the sky. We pay attention for the buildings, trees, church, cars, people, but normally not for the sky. But for the landscape, it's a very important and a huge part of our project. So that's why today we pay attention for our sky a lot. And plus one secret. On my workshops around the world, we talk about that if the workshop about the landscapes, it's a huge part of our conversation, how to build the sky in the right way. I mean, if you look at the reference, the tonal balance of the sky on the bottom part and the ground, it's almost the same. It's very close. We still feel the dramatic feeling on that photo, but we can force it a little bit. And honestly, that's more important than all watercolor techniques, all color mixing, all the tricks. How you build your project in your mind before you start to paint. how to decide to rebuild your picture, rebuild the balance, rebuild the colors. We're not a copy machine. It doesn't make sense to follow in the photo exactly. It's already done. So how to make the changes which help you to show the idea what you want to put inside. And one of the important decisions what I will do before I start, which part have to be darker, sky or ground. This time we have a bright light on the field, and by the way, it's very nice colors, and we will talk how to mix them. And to explain that light, I will make my sky darker. You know, normally in the sky we always have a gradient, darker on top, going down, lighter. This time I don't want to follow in that rules. I change it because I want to represent the light on the ground. That's the point. And for that, again, I use this picture just like a reference, but I don't want to follow in that exact. Okay? Again, any questions, just let me know. And I use the Baohong Masters Choice paper, rough, half sheet. And I start to wet the backside in the beginning, because if you follow me, you know my trick. I'm always keep my paper full of water. And you can see for now, this paper is very soft. It's like a, you know, like a paper towel. Soft guy. So, and now you can see all the process, how I prepare my paper. I just switch to the table and you will see that. So what I do, as I say, 15 minutes before we start, I put the water again and again. So for now my paper really full of water. But the front side is dry. So I put it on my board. And the next important step, I use the paper towel, the roll, to press my paper. So I have to be sure that there is no air between my paper and the board. Now I can take off the water on the perimeter here to use the tape. Hello friends, welcome to join me. Yeah, you know, for now we are in the French part of Alps. So we are in your country. Hello Florida. Good morning, Mexico. So we put the tape, and you know, it's very important point. I press it very hard, because then the paper going to dry. It's going to be smaller, and my tape have to hold that in the whole the process. So I have to press it very well. Hello Germany. And you have to know, it's a very important thing to choose the right paper for your project. You know, if you do the same strokes with your brush, using the same colors on the different paper, you will get different results. After I'm trying all the paper, almost all the paper what we have around the world, so believe me, the Baohong, it's really the best one. The reason is very simple. We're looking for two things from the paper. First, it have to dry slowly. And this paper really drying slowly, and I have enough time to play with my colors. Second, the paper have to keep all the colors bright. You know, then we use the watercolor and then it's dry, our paintings, it's always look a little bit lighter, because a lot of pigments going inside the paper, right? So that paper, the Baohong paper, it's a 2 layers paper, have a kind of different construction compared to the other papers like a Sanders, Waterford, Arches, and all the colors standing on top and very bright because of the good quality of the gelatin inside. So you know, if you use the different paper, there is no way to make that bright field, green field, for instance, what we will do there. So that's important point. Make the right selection, okay? And this is our reference. I keep it here so you can see that. And before we start, I want to show you a few things about the green colors what we have right here. So how to mix that bright green. This is the phthalo green blue shade. Very strange green color. It's look like a cheap marker for kids, I know. And this, it's the Indian yellow. So together you will got a very bright green color. If you want to make it a little bit more warm, more yellowish, you can add just a little bit Quinacridone deep gold inside. You see that combination, that's exactly what we have on our reference photo. So that's the color combination what I use for my project. And it's another one important point. Before we start, we always have to decide which colors we use for our painting. So we have to decide it in advance, and following that pretty strong. So I'm gonna use, and you can see it on my palette, this is the Indian yellow, Quinacridone deep gold, Quinacridone sienna, Pyrrol violet. I use the phthalo green and phthalo blue color plus indigo. So that's the set for this project. Okay, and as usual, we follow the two golden rules about the watercolor. We're starting to paint from top and going down because we use the gravity, and that's the direction how the water moving on our paper. And for all the people for now on Instagram, you can go to the YouTube channel. It's a live streaming. You have a chance to join me in real time. So let's go. And by the way, another one surprise. A very nice combination. You should know that combination. This is the phthalo blue color. Very bright blue color, 100% transparent, and indigo. So that gives you a very nice, deep and rich blue mix. It's just brilliant, and that's what we will use there. Hello Ecuador. You know, as usual, I don't make this sketch because I feel just more free than I'm organize my paper real time just by watercolor. Hello Brazil. Hello Portugal. We have people around the world. I really appreciate it. Hello California. So you see, it's a very complicated mix. A little bit cobalt, a little bit indigo, a little bit Pyrrol violet. Make a very nice soft grayish mix, and that's what we use for our sky here. And you see, I use a lot of dry brush strokes. That's make a beauty of the clouds. But it's just from one side, because from second side I use the pure water to make the very soft blending. You know, it's very important rules. If you want to repeat something like that, you have to enjoy each stroke what you're doing on your paper. First of all, we're doing that for fun, right? Second one, you know, we're trying to explain the beauty, and we have to enjoy that things. So slowly I'm moving from left to the right, and just make a few clouds a little bit more interesting with the shapes. So a little bit more Pyrrol violet, cobalt, and let's make some strokes, nice strokes here. Yeah, I know it's look pretty dark now, but later I will blend it by water. Hello, Australia. Oh, it's a complicated time for you for now, so I really appreciate it when you're not sleeping and join me. Thank you for that. To make our sky a little bit more interesting, I add a little bit more pure violet in other parts. And the trick is, if I want to make the soft gradient, I will start from the pure water here. No pigments. And after that, we start to add the colors. And because the water was already here, the pigment's going to move themselves without me. Now time to create something truly dramatic, and I'll take the dark mix. Virginia, I really appreciate what you spent the end of the day with me. Hello, Switzerland. And to make that softness, I touch my paper very light and very delicate. And we can add some lights inside our cloud, just lift the pigments a little bit. I still use the combination between the very soft blending by water and the dry brush stroke. So somewhere I leave the holes and lift the pigments after that to support it. Let's make another one nice shape. And as usual, very soft blending. So I pick up the pigments right from my paper. Let's go down, a little bit blue sky. So yeah, Sabine, I got the question. This dark mix, this is the Indigo, Pyrrol Violet, and Phthalo Blue-Green shade. And as you know, I use the Daniel Smith paint here. That's why the color is so colorful and bright. And by the way, I repeat the same mix. You see, I pick up the Phthalo Blue, Indigo, and a little bit Pyrrol Violet. So let's make it a little bit more darker. A little bit more dramatic. So we slowly going down. It's always combination, a very soft touching with a dry brush, and after that blending by water. So that process never stop. And lift, that's the third point. Lift the pigments. And for all the people who are now on the Facebook, you can go to the YouTube to join my live stream video. We can talk right now. Let's make this line of the clouds a little bit more visible. We have a mountains. You can see that the mountains there on the third plan, and I don't want to paint it now. We care about that a little bit later. So what I do want to create now is that beautiful yellow greenish fields. So again, this is the phthalo green, blue shade, and Indian yellow, and just a little bit Quinacridone deep gold. And as you can see, I must always change my mix slightly. It's always a little bit different. So I'm preparing the big shapes, and after that we back to that to create the shadow. So for now I don't care about that at all, just big shapes. And a few more things. First of all, after I put some dark mountains here behind, I don't need that strong border. That's why I just blended by water. That helped me to decide later where to create this line. Depends on the composition what will be on my paper. And a little bit more tricks. I start to lift pigments somewhere to bring some lights. Just to make it the light more understandable. And a little bit sprayed. I spray it with two different colors. First I prepare some dark mix. For now it's so visible. In the couple of minutes they are blended to my paper. It makes just a very soft texture. And the second thing, just a pure water. So for now we have 80 people watching this video. I really appreciate it. If you don't mind, please put the like. That helps to other people to find that video. And few more tricks. I spray it with the yellow colors now to bring some light here. And somewhere still lift the pigments on top of my spray. You see, it was a very visible dots, but for now they're blending softly. That's what I'm looking for. I'm starting to use the hairdryer a little bit and continue to spray it just to speed up the process and save our time. So sorry, I have to turn off the sound because it's very noisy. When you're playing with a spray like that, you always have to find the right moment. If you want to make your dots visible, you have to spray it in the moment then your paper is still shiny, but just a little bit. If it will be too much water here, they're gonna blend. If it will be too late, nothing happens. So the pigments have to be almost stable, almost. Like for now, here it will be the good moment to do that. Nice. Well, I sprayed the last time and leave it to dry. Hello, Colombia. So now I start to care about the mountains here, and the trick is, remember I say I want to make the sky a little bit darker, so I start to make the mountains darker, and I'm gonna connect it to my sky. That will be another one layer. Okay, I got the question about wet my paper on the back. You know, because I wet the paper on the back, it's drying slowly. That's the point. I have a time to play with my pigments to create the gradients to do whatever I want to do. If it will be not will be prepared, it's drying so fast and I couldn't do that, and that will be very sad. Yes, Virginia, I'm agree with you absolutely. Sometimes it's very hard to find the right moment, but you know that's exactly about your feeling, and unfortunately, that's absolutely practical things. You painting more and more, and you start to feel what happens with your paper and your pigments in time. So unfortunately, we couldn't calculate it. It's always just about the feeling. Let's bring some lights on the mountains. I just lift the pigment somewhere. More darker mix. And we have a nice trees there, and to show the lights on the trees I have to create the negative space for that. And another one trick, I don't want to see that strong shape there. It's look like I cut it from the color paper. That's why I'm gonna blend it to my sky. Make the mystery feeling, it's like a ghost. And a little bit more darker touching. Hello Rome! And that's very dark. You see, it's like working together, this diagonal. The darkness here, we put the darkness there. Let's do that. We still have some forest here, that's why I use this mountain like a negative space for that forest, and I'm gonna make it even more darker on the bottom. And as we did before, I just softly blend it somewhere. Hello India! A little bit light on top, just a little bit. And then we go into that trees and that forest. We really need a very dark colors. Without that, this light never will be look like a light. So I use a lot of Quinacridone Sienna, Phthalo green, and Indigo. On the bottom I use the dry brush strokes. And a little bit soft blending there on top to make the nice texture of trees. Let's add another one line of the forest here. So for that, again, I just a little bit blend it there and make another one line. So see, there is no objects here. I'm trying to create just shadows on my paper. Dry brush strokes and blending again. So that's process never stop. Hello, Iraq. I just add a little bit more details there. Thank you for all of you for your comments. I really appreciate it. If you want to make this look a little bit better, you still can spray it, even if we're talking about the very dark colors, just a little bit. Make the nice texture. Just make it look very complicated, you know. And you see the sparkling light inside the shadows. It's always a good trick. To make the nice forest here, I have to keep the right direction of light. That's what I have to care about. Hello UK, thank you for your comments. I really appreciate it. And you know, special for me, this subject, it's really special because I just back from Alps 3 weeks ago. It's still fresh in my memory. Hello Italy. Let's make a few trees a little bit more visible. And if we want, we can show the road here. Not necessarily, but it can be a nice thing. Just a little bit negative space. little bit spray on the first line. And a little bit lift here again to show the light better, the direction of the light. And it's almost done. Honestly, on the screen you see it's a little bit more greenish. On original painting it's a little bit more yellowish, a little bit more close to this color selection. But the main trick still in front of us. Remember in the beginning I told you what if we want to explain the kind of traumatic feeling, we have to decide which part have to be lighter and darker, sky or ground. And if I say I want to show the light on the ground more, make it more visible, and that's my focus point anyway, I have to make the sky darker. But I didn't do that for now. That's what I want to show you, how the small things, tonal balance, can change the picture completely. So what I'm gonna do for now, I back my camera for the table. You will see the picture how it's look like now. I make it dry and I put another one layer for the sky, and you will see the huge difference. Just wait a couple of minutes. Okay, ready? The trick is, as I say, I want to put the second layer for the sky, and for that I start from the pure water, just on top of my painting, and after that I start to use some colors. Oh, hello Montreal! By the way, that's the good trick if you want to rebuild your picture or make it more complicated. So I just want to show you two things. First, you can always rebuild your picture if you don't like something. Second one, that's the good point to see the difference between the tonal balance and how it can change whole the picture. So I remove the white colors here completely. That helped me to show the lights there much better. I just bring back some parts of mountains. Hello, Sweden. And the last step, I start to lift pigments somewhere to make some part a little bit more interesting and more light. You know, then it's dry completely. You never guess what that was made by 2 layers. It will be look like made in one time. And just a little bit more darker strokes only there. Okay, I got the question about the cauliflowers, you mean, right? No, that's because I wet the paper here and I cover everything on the same level of water. So that's why it's the same amount of water, that's why there is no cauliflowers, because the water is everywhere. The cauliflowers effects we have if some part of the paper more dry, some more wet. So for now everything is wet on the same level. So that's the point, how we can rebuild the picture and make it dramatic. So for now you can feel the light here much better and the sky look much darker compared to what it was before. If you take the screenshot you will see that difference. So that's what I say in the beginning. It's very important to make that decision before you start to paint, and now you can see that. So that balance always change the picture. That means before you start, you have to decide where is your light, because everything what we're doing it's about the light, especially in watercolor. If you decide where is your light, just keep it very strong, okay? And again, for the people who join me a little bit later, I want to tell you the 2 good news. First of all, a lot of materials what I'm using, my brushes, my palette, my paper, my tools, almost all my tools for now are available in Europe. If you go into the website europe.watercoloronline.com, you'll find a lot of things, and special the Baohong paper what I'm used today, this paper available on our website with a 20% discount and no taxes and very cheap delivery around the Europe. So as I say, I'll do my best to make that beautiful, amazing paper available for my friends, for my artists, for my students. So you have a chance to get it now. It's like about 1 week more we have this discount. So if you have a chance, you have to try that paper, especially if you never tried before. It's a brilliant texture and very bright colors. Finally, so then it will dry and I put it on the Facebook or Instagram. you will see the real colors and how bright that picture. And it's very hard to make the same color balance in the live streaming on YouTube, but I did my best. And thank you very much for all the time what you was with me. It's almost, whoa, 50 minutes. Thank you. You spent the 50 minutes with me. It's very important for me. And if you don't mind, again, please like the video, because it helps to other people to find it after that. And in the end, I want to tell you the last thing, just remind you, remember, if you don't like some part of your painting, you always can make your paper dry, put another one layer of water, and rebuild that part. Make and still keep it look fresh. That's why we like watercolor. Thank you again for your time. If you have any questions, everything, you can type it after that video will be posted on YouTube, just in the comments, and always will find the time to answer you. Thank you, and see you in 1 week on Monday. Bye bye.